Yo, what's going on, guys? Frankie here, bringing you another new Sunday stock watch list. I know you guys were expecting Nor for this day, but you guys have me for this time. He was a little busy and got caught up with plans, and he wasn't able to catch and make the watch list for you guys. But I got you guys. Don't worry. I'll show you guys what's hot and what's trending for this week and what we have coming up with the Stock Hours crew. So, first things first is if we go to ES on the 1 hour. The reason why I'm on the 1 hour is because since we're near all-time highs, there's really no reason to look at the bigger time frames and see, what to do. At this point, since we're at all-time highs, you kind of want to just judge things on the smaller time frames with what kind of trend lines we have, the momentum that we can see, if it's consolidating anywhere. For ES this time around, I am looking at the 4790 area into 4800 to the upside. To the downside, I am looking at 4755 and then 4750 after that. That's about it for ES that I have for you guys on that. ES or SPY, either one works. Next up is NQ here. Kind of the same story that I just had with ES. We broke all-time highs for a little last week, and like I said, want to look at the smaller time frames here. So with NQ here, if you look on the 1 hour time frame, I have actually it's not the 1 hour, it is the 4 hour, right? Yeah. It is the 4 hour trend line here. You can see it starts from Monday from this week, and we have rejected off of it 2 times now, and we're kind of just almost 3 times now. And we're actually getting close to either breaking it towards the downside or the upside here. So first level I'm looking at for NQ will be the 16,900 level. After 16,900, I am looking at the 17,000 area towards the upside. Towards the downside, I don't really see an area where I could trade NQ, or I guess trade a breakdown with the stock watches that I have for you guys set. But towards the upside, that is what I'm looking for. That's what we're mostly hovering around, so that is what I'm be looking forward to for this week. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm bullish on the week. It just means it's an area that I'm watching, and most of my setups are catered towards that direction. So, but yeah, first things first is the main watch list. AVGO. This stock went crazy this week. As you guys can see here, just looking at the 4 hour time frame from this week on Monday, this opened up at 9:50 and we closed at 11:22 on Friday. If you're part of the Stock Hours Discord, we have been catching the stock left and right, and Nor actually ended up signaling a 70% trade on this stock on Wednesday, I believe. But it was an insane trade, super crazy. But yeah, this has been kind of doing its own thing. It's its own momentum. Sure, it's part of the NASDAQ, but with the times we've traded it throughout the week, it's not necessarily affected by NQ if we're kind of taking a trade on this for a breakout. Since it's been making all-time highs, the most you can do, like I mentioned with ES or NQ, is you have to judge the momentum and the buyer momentum that they can do around these levels. So AVGO, pretty simple setup that I'm looking at. All I'm looking at is for a breakout or an inverse H here at the 1150 area. All that I'm looking for after 1150, I mean, at that point, we're just kind of just playing highs or playing good inverse H's or bull flags, as some say it, into those areas. But 1150 is the key area. Going to be watching this closely just because of how insane this has been paying. It is a little more on the expensive side because, an $1,100 stock, those contracts are going to cost up a little bit. So those contracts do cost a little bit. So if you are in a smaller account, don't risk it and don't take the trade. So next up I got is NVDA. So NVDA here is actually looking kind of good. If you guys go on the 1 hour time frame here and look at this closely, you can see that we're currently at a double top right now on NVIDIA. These are my kinds of setups. These are the setups I kind of look forward to with these kind of tech stocks that we trade with the volatility that it has behind them. But I'm looking at 494 on NVIDIA. After 494, I'm looking at 495. And after 495, I'm looking at 500. Simple setup, nothing too crazy. Don't see any trend lines on this. I could get in the way with these trades that I'm taking. So nothing to worry about right there. Next up is Shopify. So the thing with Shopify is you have to go to the bigger time frame. So on here, I'm on the 3 or 1 day. But if you zoom in closely, you can see we have another double top here at 78. After 78, I'm looking at the 80 level, and after the 80 level, we have room all the way up to 84.31. Reason being is we have a $4 gap here on Shopify. The way I'm looking to play this is just take the breakout at 78. I might just take that as its own trade, and besides holding it all the way up to 80, I am a scalper at the end of the day, so I gotta size into these trades somewhat proportionally. So, but yeah, looking at the double top on Shopify at 78 and then 80 on that. So pretty big setup. Probably one of my favorite setups this week because I do like trading Shopify a lot. But yeah. Next up is Tesla here. Tesla, it's part of the main watch list. It's not the greatest setup or a setup that I'm really keen of, but with the momentum that Tesla can have behind it and the push that it can have behind these kinds of setups, it makes it really likable for me to want to have it on my watch list, especially on my main watches, which are the setups that I'm really looking at for the week to come. The only unfortunate side with Tesla is Tesla does move a lot pre-market and over the weekend, and this did close 70 cents away from the 254 area that I'm looking at. So that is something that I will be missing out on right there. But I'm looking at the 254 area. After 254, I'm looking at 255, and after 255, I have room up to 257 where I have another resistance sitting there. And of course, we can talk about more as the micro levels go on, but for the meantime, in the bigger picture, I'm looking at Tesla at 254 and then 255 on that. And then for the side watch list that I have for you guys is Apple. Apple, pretty simple setup, far away on the 30-minute time frame. You can see a lot of these on the 30-minute time frame. Reason being is that's where most of these setups rely on, besides the ones I mentioned earlier that you could see on the 1 hour or even the 4 hour or even the daily. But with Apple, you can see we have a 30-minute trend line at the AVGO indicator that we have listed for subscription on our website. Link in the description. You can see that it actually drew out a trend line breaking at around 198. Am I going to look to play 198? Definitely not. It's not the area where I want to look to play Apple. But what I do want to see, I want to judge the momentum based on how it breaks this trend line right here, since it's been so respected, and play that into either 199 or even the high at 199.60 just for the safest entry possible. And after that, I'll be playing it into 200 on Apple. So that is the setup right there on Apple. And then last but not least, actually, is BA. I actually happened to miss this on Friday, unfortunately. It wasn't my kind of setup that I do like taking on BA, so that is the reason why I just kind of avoided it entirely. But if you look at the 1 minute, just to show you guys what it did, it just went absolutely insane here. Just an absolute green of a candle. Opened up at 255.70 and went all the way up to 250, pretty much 260. So it was a crazy play for sure. BA is probably one of my top stocks that I do like trading a lot because I do understand it. This time around, it just happened to be one of those setups where I'm not comfortable taking BA on this specific setup because I like taking BA in other specific setups or the way it likes to sets up for me. So missed out on some of that, unfortunately. But what I am looking at on that, since it had some crazy momentum and push that entire day, I am looking at the 265 area. After 265, I'm looking at that high at 265.50. After that, I'm looking into that at 266. The crazy thing is about BA is for a lot of people who, don't normally trade this stock or these smaller cap stocks like Apple, AMD. A lot of times you may think 50-cent moves or a dollar move isn't a lot for a target, but what you don't know is on the option contract side for these stocks, those contracts have a lot of high volatility behind them and can really flip the premiums on them. So that is the reason why I have my targets so close to each other and why I'm going to be looking at these stocks for those kinds of short moves. Obviously, you miss out on a lot if you just end up catching the scalp and you just keep running. Happens to me all the time, but that just comes with being a scalper at the end of the day. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the watch list. Like I said, I'm sorry you guys couldn't see Nor today, but you guys got me in with the watch list that I'm going with this week. You can see the similarities with what we like to trade in the Discord chat. A lot of the tech stocks that we like to trade and what's hot and trending. So hope you guys enjoy that. Don't forget to give a like, comment, and subscribe to the Stock Hours YouTube channel. We would appreciate that. And without much more being said, hope you guys have a great week and play safe. Peace out.